Are you awake but sleeping? Many believers assume that they are alive in the spirit, but Ephesians 5:14 says, "Awake you who sleep, arise from the dead, and Christ will give you light." This matters because spiritual sleep does not always look obvious or dramatic. It does not always look like backsliding or rebellion. It often looks like living your everyday life while your purpose slowly fades into the background. Let me ask you something. When last did you pause and ask yourself, why do I exist? I do not mean what is my next plan or how will I get through the week. I mean the real question, what did God put me here on earth to accomplish for God? Why am I living? One clear sign of spiritual sleep is when your life follows the same routine the world follows. You wake up, you study, you eat, you walk, you hustle, you try to be good, then you repeat that life. You feel productive because you are busy, but busyness does not equal to a life of purpose. Jesus did not call you to simply survive. He did not ask you to simply live a decent life. In Luke 19:13, he gave talents and said, "Occupy till I come." That means God watches how you use what he placed in your hands. God has already given you gifts. He has entrusted you with abilities, opportunities, and even platforms. He did not give them to you just to be comfortable. He gave them to advance his kingdom and reach and win souls. So, you have to face this question honestly. How much are you using what God gave you for his purpose? You can chase good goals and still be spiritually asleep. You can build a career, raise children, run a business, and become successful and still feel empty because none of it flows from God's will for your life. When you truly wake up spiritually, you stop moving without direction. You stop just drifting and just living. You stop wasting time on things that carry no eternal value. Instead, you begin to ask real questions. Lord, how should I use this gift for you? How can I use this opportunity to serve your kingdom? What do you want me to do with this opportunity, this platform, this time? Ephesians 5:15 says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." That means you live with intention and clarity. You live with an awareness that every day matters. Verse 16 adds, "Redeeming the time because the days are evil." If you delay waking up, something else will take your time. The times, the culture will, fear will, comfort will take your time, pressure will, the trends will take your time, and you may think you are living normally when you are actually asleep. Verse 17 then says, "Do not be unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is." Walking in God's will is what keeps you spiritually awake. If you are not using your gifts for God's kingdom, you are spiritually asleep. You are not just making a mistake, you are not just discouraged, but you are spiritually sound asleep. God is calling you to rise. Why? Remember why you were created. Your life is not just a random thing. Your gifts are not just accidents. Your opportunities are not just coincidences. Jesus placed them in your hands for a reason, and he expects you to use them until he returns. So let me ask you again, are you awake or have you been drifting? Simply living life on autopilot? If you feel a pull in your heart right now, that is not just an emotion. That is God calling you back to living a life of purpose. Do not push it aside. Pray about it and take deliberate steps to walk in God's design, desire, blueprint, and purpose for your life. Hallelujah. God bless you as you pray and seek the face of God to do what he called you or what he created you for. That is the only place where meaning actually lies. Hallelujah.